Hey, what's up? That's like the bob your head. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
What's
What's up? Let's go. What's up, you guys? How are you on this lovely, lovely day in Washington and Arizona in the house? Welcome to Talent Talk. We are just thrilled to be here today. So I will just go ahead and introduce ourselves. We have our lovely John O. Scott Talent Group folks in the house today. I'm Davina, and by my side is Jurgen, and we got Steve over there, and Valerie, guest
Good morning.
hosting with us today. She is one of our top brokers in our John O. Scott family. So thank you, Valerie, for being here this
Mhm.
morning. And there is no coincidence that you are here today because we are going to be talking about why now is the best time to sell your home. And there's no there's it's not a secret that it is an amazing seller's market, but then still people are still sitting on the fence, right, about taking advantage of this amazing seller's market. So we are going to talk about that today and have some fun with it too. And we want to also invite our listeners in as well. And if you are watching, good day to you. And also just bring the comments in. We love having the conversation with you guys. But you know what today is? What is today, you guys?
It's Friday,
Are you sure? It could be
April,
Monday. Could be
Friday,
Tuesday.
April,
What is today?
April 1st.
Which is
April
First day of
Fool.
April.
come on. Yes, it's April Fool's Day. It's April Fool's Day. And there are it's the day for pranks and jokes. And I feel like it's Jurgen's Day.
No, you know what? I am not a prank guy. I'm a funny guy. I'm a situational guy, but I'm not a prank guy.
Not a prank guy.
I'm
There was this
not.
thing about it was a group about Alaska Airlines, and I'm like, is that an April Fool's joke or is that real? Did they really cancel flights or did they not? Like, what's true today, right? But
You
you know
know,
what?
that's really funny when you wake up and they say your flight's canceled and it's not, but you change your plans and
Right.
There's been some companies that have done some pretty crazy pranks that people believed. So it's always a fun day.
You just
I
never
think
know
today you got to
what
take like everything with a grain of salt today. You got to kind of watch people.
hard to get just one grain of salt.
I know.
very just yeah. So you know what? I'm interested. So we want to know, like, before we get into our talk about the market and those things, like, what are some crazy pranks that maybe you've done, or maybe you want to say somebody else did because you don't want to claim it, but what's the craziest prank, April Fools, that you have heard of or that you've done? Share it with us because we like to hear about what some people do. I can tell you that I'm afraid of pranking. I'll joke, but I'm afraid of pranking because I feel like it's going to backfire on me somehow. You know, one of the things that I can tell you I've heard of, or I used to work with some serious pranksters, and one of the guys that I used to work with, he actually took someone's keys. Now they didn't have the remote on them because that would have been really bad. But he took someone's keys and put them in a cup of water and put them in the freezer. And when they were ready to go home, their keys were in a frozen block of ice.
With all the electronic keys, that would be terrible
Yeah,
these
yeah, they weren't
days.
electronic. Yeah, that would have been awful. That would have been awful. I heard of it. Oh, yeah, and there's a couple other ones that I've heard too. I'll share. But anyone, any of you guys want to share like any pranks? You said
My
one.
wife told
You
me
said
she was
one
pregnant and it
yesterday.
wasn't April 1st, and then we had a child, and then 3 more, and she's still not let it go.
You had one. You shared one
Longest
about
prank
your house
ever.
being on the market. Remember? Jurgen,
Huh?
you said your house was on the market and then someone did something about your house, or
No, Donna mentioned it that a neighbor when we were selling our home came through and put condemned tape and then dynamite in our basement, blew up the house, and I wasn't
oh
me.
my God.
No, no, put condemned tape and a little fake notice on there just for fun. But it was while the home was on the market, so people were literally turning away.
That's so bad.
That is, and then there's another one that I heard. So their nephew or little kid, 3 years old, they actually someone taped the toilet seat down so they couldn't lift the toilet seat up, and then so the little guy had to sit on the toilet to use the bathroom, but then they put tape on the toilet seat on the top, and so he got stuck to the toilet.
You know, it's saran wrap across the toilet is really bad too.
Oh, that would be
That's what I was thinking.
horrible.
Yeah, that's where I
You'd have
thought you
to-
were going there.
Oh yeah, no. See, now that's one that would literally backfire on the person that did it, because
In a number of ways.
Okay, well, if anyone out there, if you guys want to share your April Fool's jokes, please just put them in the chat. What's the greatest April Fool's prank that you've ever heard of or that you've ever played? And anytime throughout the program, please just put it in there. We'd love to talk about that. But wow, now we're going to actually dive into why now is the best time to sell your home. And you're going to, yeah, now, and things have changing. What's going on right now in our industry that's really people have been sitting on the fence. And one of the reasons why homes have been selling is because of low inventory, but things coupled with low interest rates and all those things have really been driving our market. But why is now the best time to sell? I think one of the first points that we have really just to talk about is just really to take advantage of the resale value, right? So what are some of the things, okay, yeah, duh, it's a high resale value, but why is it a thing? What can they do? What can sellers do now that they couldn't do before? And with it being so hard, maybe the seller is looking to purchase in the same market. Any insight? Let's talk about why take advantage now of the high resale value instead of maybe waiting for later. Is the market going to go up? Is it going to go down?
I think that's just it. I mean, we don't know what the market's going to do, but we do know right now that the market is at a all-time high. I mean, you can actually probably get the best price that you'd ever have gotten, like right now. Is that going to continue? And for how long? Those are that's the big one.
Yeah.
I have several examples of clients who they took advantage of the market and sold pretty high. And I know that there's also kind of where do we go next? But they were able to use that equity to not only get a bigger house for their family that was growing, but they also secured a house contingent. And they also were able to pay off almost all of their debt, and it put them in a much better place financially. So with that much equity, depending on where you are, if you're upsizing, downsizing, it can really, really change your life and how you can, maneuver the rest as you go forward. So several clients of mine have been able to do that once we explained, and they even got their offers accepted contingent. So it's all how you craft it. But yeah, it changed their life. So.
Yeah, that's good. Jurgen, I know that you were you're always jumping at the bit to throw some flavor in it. What are you thinking?
Well, as far as the market goes, I think it's always a great time to be able to look. You're going to be in the same market conditions. Right now, we're at the start of the spring season, so we're going to see a lot more interest out there. People are definitely looking. I don't think the fervor really calmed during the winter season. I mean, the demand has been high. What's really been hurting right now has been the lack of inventory. There just aren't enough homes to get the buyer demand, which is really a flip from when we last had a housing market that was accelerating as quickly as it is right now. So right now, at one point, when it was the previous market, the the demand was almost artificial. Here, it's very real. Buyers want to buy. There's just not enough inventory on the home. And if you're a seller and you're considering doing something, now is a phenomenal time because we are going to start to see more homes come on the market as it gets into the spring or into this late spring into the summer. But right now, you have the highest opportunity to attract the most, let's say, intense attention on your particular listing or home without a lot of competition. So, I mean, a lot of things favor you right now as a seller.
Right. One of the things that, just like Valerie talked about was contingencies, and contingencies are, if you have to sell your house first to buy another house, and it's been really, buyers can find themselves in a tough spot if they don't have good negotiating representation, to get those contingencies accepted. But if a seller were to sell their home and then just have that equity in their bank instead of in the home, then they can compete without having to deal with those contingencies. And one of the things that I've seen is, you don't have to have somewhere to go in order to sell your house. You can rent. And I've seen a lot of sellers that literally, to take advantage of the market, they are strategically just renting for a temporary time period until they can figure out what exactly they want to do and what their next steps are. But the money is in the bank. So, whether the market goes down or up, they're saying, you know what, I'm cashing in the chips and I'm just going to sit on this. We'll invest and, let the savings grow until we figure out what our next move is. And, that can be a really smart move for people in positions where they want to move, but they're not sure when they want to move. So, or want to buy again, but not sure when they want to buy. You mentioned also upsize or downsize. We have had a COVID season. We're still in the COVID year. People are now thinking about, do I need all this space? Or maybe I need more space because of, whether it's family moving in or whether it's because I need that office or that she shed or the man cave. What are some of the things that, here's a question is, if you were to sell your home, what is it that you would be looking for in the next home? Right. So, we've all identified some spaces that we want to improve in the space that we're in now, and maybe buying the other home is the other option. So here's a question for you guys. If you out there want to answer, chime into that. You guys, we all are homeowners in this field right now. What are some things that you'd want to change or about the next home that you maybe don't have in the home you have now?
I have an answer.
Go ahead, Valerie.
So, okay, I can't stop talking about it, but I got a dog. So at this point, I have a pretty good sized yard, but man, she's growing very fast. So I love my house, but definitely would love to get something with a lot more space in the backyard. So that's one of the things, and that's the main thing for me. So otherwise, I love my house. So.
Christina says bigger closets. She's got lots of clothes. Yeah. So I think that's more of a girl thing than a guy thing, right? A bigger
that
closet.
Could be because she wants bigger closet for more clothes or more storage. You know what I would rather have? Similar to here. I'd like more space to, if it's not necessarily a man cave, just being able to, we do so much. We've learned to be online so much and to communicate in this new virtual way through the pandemic, Zooms, etc. Having a really well put together office out of the home where just I would create a little studio inside just because it's fun. And you know what? I can show that off. Check this out.
Yeah.
Put
I
the
think
camera around. Hey,
Yeah. I need 2 offices. So I need there needs to be a he office and a she office because, with 2 people working from home, that can get really, uh, you know, interesting. But I can tell you
Then
the
you add,
honest,
oh,
yeah, what'd you say?
I was just saying, then you add kids into the mix and then
Oh gosh, and
chaos.
dogs, right?
Oh yeah,
But
like
I
hiding
think
in the other
honestly,
room.
I know, right? Hi, shh. But and or like, having people walk behind you while you're, doing something. But
Mhm.
I honestly think for me right now, if I were to move, and the house that I would want, the outdoor space is really important. And I have not honed in on my outdoor space. It is not the space that I'd want, like the big covered area with the fireplace, and you can close it in, and then you got the outdoor, like maybe an outdoor theater where you can actually watch movies. And I think like I'd want an amped up outdoor space.
You know what? I saw a really cool idea. So for Donna, it'd be like a she shed, but
Mhm.
sometimes you might have that outdoor entertaining type of space. And because it rains a lot in Washington, it was call it a shed, but it was more like a entertainment little small building, truncated building outside. But the back wall actually flipped out, and the back wall inside of the thing was a bar, and you could roll that whole back wall outwards so that the whole bar area was exposed. It became a pass through. Really cool looking.
That you can roll the wall away.
You open the wall, so it opens up like a door
Like a barn door
to,
type thing, or
huh?
never mind. Go ahead.
Yeah, you could unroll the wall so the bar was in the outdoors exposed, and you can have a party right through there as opposed to being stuck inside of a small room.
Huh.
All right. So when you guys get that done, just make sure to invite me over.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Steve actually has what was Steve thinking about?
I was kind of in line with what you were thinking about, Jurgen, like a nice big office or some sort of mix, but a house big enough with more space that it would actually be a hidden office, like the hidden doorway behind the bookshelf type of room. I always thought that would be cool.
So you'd like to have a speakeasy? Is that kind of like a was that what it was? What was it where they had like hidden places and you go and is that kind of a
Speakeasy.
speakeasy like during the Prohibition or
Yeah,
something?
yeah,
Am I
Oh, that's a
remembering this
speakeasy.
correctly?
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah,
What
or
was
Speaking
it?
Davina would
Davina.
say indoor theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, that's so
And I
funny.
know my wife Donna would love the whole she shed, her little oasis away from all of the testosterone that is in the house with just boys. So, and I
Yeah.
count myself in that boy quotient, I think.
Yeah. Well,
Agreed.
so but we talk about, moving, and if we were to relocate, again, we're talking about right now, why is now, the best time to sell your home? And we've talked about, taking advantage of the resale value, which is, if you need to move or if you don't need to move, you can strategically sell and just kind of chunk away your monies, or, it helps you better position yourself. If you are looking to upsize or you are looking to downsize, and you may, maybe you need that office, maybe you need that entertainment space, maybe you need the classroom, but putting yourself in a better position to even compete in the marketplace. Whether you're just needing a change of lifestyle, and then as we're talking about these things, what do you need in moving into your home? What about if you've already made some of those improvements? I know during in the last couple of years, people have actually gone and done some of the extra stuff because they're spending more time in their home, so they've been doing these remodeling projects, not to sell their home, but actually to live and stay in their space. Well, now maybe it's time for you to really, the investments that you put in actually might make you a little bit more money on the other side, because people are looking for those things too in their home. So, so that could be benefit from recent home improvements that you've done. So this also brings another question. We talk about what does our home not have that we'd like to have. What are some of the things that you guys like about the home that you live in? Right? There's some features that we tend to that we can gravitate towards, or that we can really appreciate that we have, whether it's a new remodel or maybe it's something, the reason why you bought the home that you have, or why you're in the home that you're in now. What are some things that you actually like about the house that you're in, or love about the home that you're in? And if
And a
you
little
had
mea culpa, Davina.
a,
I'm
uh-huh.
supposed to be watching the comments, and I missed a couple comments on the last one. So definitely, if you're out there, you're looking, and you have some comments some things that you love about your home that you'd love to make sure at the
Mhm.
very you don't want to miss this being in your next home, would definitely be interested. And I'm watching for your comments so we can put them up on screen.
Yes, yeah, like Jurgen's watching the comments, so please, yes.
I wasn't watching them well though. I need to clean my glasses. I think I just missed one or two. So
I think it looks like we have a comment. I
Clarissa.
love my outdoor space.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is, one of the things that I love about my home right now is I love my bedroom. That is, so in my bedroom, we actually have a little sitting area. And so I tend to gravitate towards my, it's a recliner. So I don't even have to go to bed to lay down. So it's like I will veg out in in our little retreat area in our master bedroom. And, my husband and I tend to fight over the fireplace because I'm always cold and he's always hot. And so I want to come home and flip the fireplace on. And he's like, "What are you doing?" In my space. So I love our little master bedroom relaxation area. You don't have to go to bed to relax space. What do you guys like in your home?
I just love
I
the
like
layout
my
of
garage.
mine. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead, Valerie.
I just like the layout and the location. I mean, I've lived here my whole life here in DuPont. So if I did move, I'd be sad to move away from there. But yeah, and just the layout. I mean, it's just big enough for me. So I kind of like all my spaces here. So it's just cozy for me.
Valerie, what do you've worked with a lot of buyers, you work with a lot of sellers. What are some of the things that you're hearing that your sellers are wanting? Why are they moving? What are the reasons why they're selling?
There's a lot of people that want just more space. I think with being at home, excuse me, at home so long over the pandemic, people are realizing that a lot of people are working from home still. And so a lot of people just want more space yard wise, moving out a little bit more to, kind of the outskirts of areas instead of staying in. So I'm seeing a lot of that and just more space in the house to be with them. If you live with somebody and it's a small space, it can get a little bit crowded. I think some people feel. So I'm seeing a lot of that. I'm also seeing a lot of people, it's something I was going to mention before, is when you're talking about selling your home and taking the equity to tuck away into savings and invest elsewhere, there's also a lot of people that are talking about moving into a different state. And so I feel like if people are on the fence about, well, I've been thinking about moving to Tennessee, but I just know, I think I'm going to do it next year. We don't know what's going to happen next year. And we know that right now in this time in the market, it's really a really great time. People have a ton of equity that they're not utilizing. So that's another thing I was going to mention. If you're on the fence about leaving the state or going with family somewhere else, I would think about speeding up that timeline potentially if it's right for you. So that's just another thought I have. But yeah, moving elsewhere, a lot more space, and then inside and outside as well. So.
Yeah.
With that conversation you were talking earlier about inside, and great insight on the just making sure you understand what your situation is too. But, indoors one thing, outdoors another. And Christy had a comment about, I'm with Clarissa on this. I love my backyard. My favorite thing is the layout. Lots of space and privacy. It was amazing during the pandemic. And yeah, outdoor space is fantastic.
Maybe I
I'll
just
just
need
make
to
you
go to
guys a
Queen.
little jealous
Yeah.
that it's the high here in Queen Creek in Arizona is going to be 83 today, and I just checked the temperature on the pool and it's currently at 71.
Okay.
It's going to be
Can we
pretty
just
nice.
get him off of the broadcast right now?
I'm booking my flight. It's a little
Oh
sunny here, but I
man,
know that means it's cold. Or
yeah.
yeah.
What's improving though? I mean, this is the time of the year that everything is. What I love about Washington this time of the year is everything is starting to bloom and blossom. Spring is absolutely my favorite time of the year.
I'm with summer, but you know, so
So,
but you know, just to go back to Valerie real quick, what you were talking about in regards to some of your sellers are staying in the area, maybe moving out. Some of them are going out of state. How are you helping them? You know, if they're going out of state, you know, because that could be a hard conversation. You know, in a seller's head. You know, that's moving is stressful enough, but then having to relocate out of state, and now I'm here, but I need to move there.
Mhm.
How do you help them
So
in
what we
that
do is
conversation?
what
Go
we do
ahead.
is we sit down and we have basically a consultation where we have that conversation about what the goals are for the future. And then we have a lot of tools to help people who are moving. So if they're really unsure, it's just like, well, how do I even plan this out? Well, we have a great referral program, so we can find them an agent if they're looking to buy elsewhere. Find them a great agent that is already vetted, has a lot of experience that they can interview, that I would interview, that can also help them plan out their trip. I actually had a client move to North Carolina, and that agent really sat down and helped work with me on selling their home, planning out how to get there, what they do once they get there, and then also if sellers need assistance here in getting their home ready, we have resources for that as well. But it's really important to have that consultation, at least in my eyes, because it has that, like, okay, well, here's the plan. And then it just takes a huge weight off of the seller's shoulders that they're like, well, what do I do? I'm like, well, let me help you. So we just plan everything out. And of course, there can always be bumps in the road, but and let me tell you, I've solved some problems, some pretty big problems, like unforeseen issues that come up. It always seems to happen. But yeah, I mean, with the expertise and knowledge that, we bring to the table, it really can help take a weight off of their shoulders to help them plan out. So does that answer the question?
Absolutely. Yes. With our, leading RE and
Mhm.
the resources that we have, we can help anyone basically all over the globe, even outside of the
Yeah.
country with their moves. So yes, definitely. So yeah, thank you. We're all like nearly out of time already. This is crazy. Time flies when you're having fun. It would be real, really love having the conversation and learning a little bit more about what space we love and gravitate towards and what we need or what we're looking for in our homes. And for anyone that's out there that is just curious or just sitting like just an inkling of curiosity of where their home value is and why maybe you should consider selling or not. I mean, we're so open to the having consultations, and they're free, and just knowing what's going on in your neighborhood, because what's going on in the neighborhood on the other side of town is may not be what's going on in your neighborhood. So we're more
I,
than happy. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I actually love doing that kind of stuff. And I know a lot of agents in the office do. So it's one of my favorite things is be like, all right, what's the issue? How do we fix it? Let's go through it.
Mhm.
And if you're curious, I mean, it's really cool to show people, well, this is actually how much equity you have. And they're like,
Yeah.
really? I had no idea. So even if you think, I would say I agree with Davina. Just get somebody out there and have them take a look and see if if you do have a goal for something, maybe it could really help you financially.
Yeah. We
and
have. Go
I've
ahead.
got
Fun.
one thing I want to toss in because the topic was why is now the best time to put your home on the market, right? And I saw this little piece from on realtor.com and just a couple little quick quotes out of there. Home sellers on the fence waiting for that perfect moment to sell should start preparations because the best time to list the home in 2022 is approaching quickly. The week of April 10th through the 16th is expected to have the ideal balance of housing market conditions that favor home sellers more than any other week in the year. And then they do a little bit more on the buyer side of just saying, hey, buyers are rushing to lock in lower rates as the outlook is for even higher mortgage rates in the following months. So you have this really great meeting or this convergence of buyer or sellers being able to get the best attention on the home, and buyers really increasing it because they understand what's happening with the mortgage market, and that really does impact their purchasing power. So the
Mhm.
week of April, what was that? April 10th through the 16th, coming right up, according to realtors.com, is the best week coming up for sellers.
Wow, yeah. And you mentioned low interest rates, purchase power. So if you are selling and you're sitting on your equity and you need to buy something else, you probably want to consider how much your purchase power you have, because as interest rates go up, you have less purchase power and you are literally on time is money. So do it now, look it up, figure out what your purchase power is, talk to a lender, call us, we can connect you with a real estate agent. We've got a whole list of vendors that we can refer you to help get that information in your hands right away so you can make an informed decision about
I
the
agree.
biggest investment that you'll ever own is mostly your home. So
Ever.
yeah. So so as we go through, want to send a reminder out for our Win a Trip that we're going, the end of this month. It's April now, so the end of this month we're going to be announcing the winner. So don't forget to fill out the form. We'll get your name submitted for the drawing. It's $4,000 with a travel partner to go anywhere in the world that you desire. And then also, when we're talking about a contest, last week we did a Dutch Bros. I want to say Dutch Brothers. That's just me, old, right? Dutch Bros. We had a card giveaway, and we are going to announce the winner to that like right now. Christy.
The winner is Heather Fadden. Heather
Heather.
Fadden, we have a Dutch Brothers card for you.
And who's the winner again?
Heather Fadden.
Oh, there's the name. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Sorry. Heather Fadden. Hello. Hi, Heather. Congratulations. All right.
Congratulations, Heather Fadden. We'll reach out to you and get you that Dutch Brothers card. And in the meantime, coming up, we actually have a few events that are coming up within our office. So be on the lookout. We have open houses coming up this weekend. You can always find those on our Facebook page and also on our web page. We also have Forms Friday. If you're a real estate broker and you want to get to know the forms a little bit more intimately, tune into our Forms Friday. You can find that at our Facebook page and webpage as well. We also have a career night. If you're looking at getting your real estate license, want to know what that takes, the cost, how long, that will be Tuesday, April 26th. And I think that is the last thing. Oh, Talent Talk, last thing. Next week, we have another Talent Talk coming to you Friday at 8:15. Our topic will be understanding fair housing law in Washington State, and we will have a guest host, one of our brokers, Don Anderson. So,
hey, Steve, that topic is incredibly important, not just for somebody that is in the real estate industry. So any agent brokers or anybody affiliated with real estate lenders, et cetera, it's going to be great for you, but it's really important for buyers and sellers to also understand what these laws mean and how they impact them. And for sellers, some of the things that they need to avoid to make sure that they can stay within fair housing guidelines.
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely one that you don't want to miss next week. We're going to have some good conversation there. And
This is Fair Housing Month, right?
every month is Fair Housing Month, but yes. So we're going to wrap up, and then she's like, bye. If
I have something
you
to
have
say.
any topics that
Sayonara.
yeah, right. Goodbye. Any topics, out there that you want to think that you'd like to see, please just let us know. We'd be ecstatic to actually incorporate some other ideas into our show topics. So definitely hit us up, message us, and hey, this is what we do. Talent talk. So we need things to talk about. And
We've actually had some really good ones. Last week was a really good topic with the with just the women in real estate, a lot of different views. We've had conversations about diversity inside of real estate, in addition to what we do with the market updates. So we're absolutely open to the conversations because the whole point is we're here to help you, and we want to give you whatever it is that you're looking for to help you understand what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And then also before we go, today is a special day for talent for our talent group, right?
Really?
That was
April
the topic
1st.
I was going to bring up.
Yeah. Today is what anniversary is this for our John L. Scott talent? 9 years old. So we actually opened up the doors and became owners of our group on April 1st. What a day,
I don't
right?
know. I prefer to say 9 years young. Look at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought you guys were joking.
Just kidding. No. No, really. It was April Fool's, and what a day that was,
That's funny.
So our talent group was birthed on April 1st, 2013. So just a blessing to be here and to serve. So we're gonna wrap it up. And Valerie,
And thank you,
what
Christy, too.
do we do?
I don't know if I remember on that one.
April Fools.
Just kidding. Always wrap up with a big be bold.
And what does that mean to you?
Well, actually, that's a good question. To me, when I first started, I was actually very, very timid to do a lot of things. So to me, it's just getting outside of the comfort zone and just going forward with a boldness to achieve what you want and also help others achieve what they want as well to the best of my ability. So, yeah. So it taught me a lot.
That's good. That's good. Staying uncomfortable, getting out of that comfort zone and doing something bigger than where you are now. So you want to count us down on 3?
Sure. 1, 2, 3.
Be
Be
bold.
bold. All right.
Keep making them bold moves. Have a great one. See you guys.
Bye.